Good afternoon, hobby fans, and in this video I'm going to show you my top 10 new minis from the new 9th edition Indomitus Boxed set.
Number 10. The Canoptek SCARAB Swarms. Games Workshop says they're guaranteed to get under the skin of their victims. While the insectile Canoptek scarabs aren't especially deadly individually, they can overwhelm even the largest targets as they swarm all over them in great clouds. Just ask the poor Space Marine in the cinematic trailer. Well, I'm not entirely sure if these are a lot different to the old scarabs. However, I always like a mini which has multiple small miniatures on one base. Number 9. The CRYPTOTHRALLS. These long-taloned murder bucket things seem to be a little more than expendable bodyguards at first glance. As it happens, CRYPTOTHRALLS are actually formidable adversaries, especially when galvanized into action by the presence of their master, the Plasmancer. When fighting alongside the Plasmancer, or any other Cryptek for that matter, the CRYPTOTHRALLS will serve as its sword and shield. I think these are fantastic looking miniatures. They look a bit odd, which is what I like about them, that cylindrical body with the head hanging off the end. I think that's fantastic. Number 8. The PRIMARIS Chaplain. This guy is so steeped in grim darkness that even his decorative backpack skull has service studs. In fact, this chaplain's armour is bristling with skulls, purity seals and reliquaries, and he's poised to lay a serious smackdown with his Corrosius Arcanum. Chaplains are always a welcome presence in a melee heavy army, where their firebrand rhetoric will propel nearby battle brothers to new heights of righteous fury. Well, he's a very happy looking chap there, isn't he? He has a marvellous face. I always think that looks a little bit like a NECRON head there behind the skin on his face. But I do think this is one of the nicer new sculpts in the box. Is that a bolt pistol he's carrying? I'm not sure. Someone please let me know in the comments below. It looks somewhere between a bolt pistol and the normal bolter. Number 7. The NECRON Royal Warden. If an overlord needs a job done right, it's time to call on a Royal Warden to keep things on track. As well as being a reliable aide-de-camp, how do we pronounce that? It's French by the look of things. The Warden is as tough as nails and armed with a relic Gauss blaster. Even better, he's got his foot on a rock to look all heroic and a swish stripe on his shiny skull head that could make even a Primaris lieutenant envious. So a few things to talk about here. One is he looks like an amazing miniature. He looks very heroic, like they say, standing on that rock. There's a little bit of an in-joke there, I think, with a lot of the new hero models having their foot up on the rock. But I think in this instance, it definitely works. And that cloak is fantastic. Number 6. The Assault Intercessors. Start practicing your revving noises. Your intercessors are about to get stuck into the enemy up close and personal. As well as being armed with heavy bolt pistols, the Assault Intercessors carry Astartes chainswords for guaranteed short-range carnage. We can't wait. No, and neither can I. I think these do look absolutely marvellous. There's always something nice looking about a Space Marine with a weapon in both hands. And the pistol and chainsword combination is a classic. Number 5. The new NECRON Warriors. Whether they carry their traditional Gauss flares or the shorter ranged but harder hitting Gauss Reapers, phalanxes of warriors are the inexorable mainstay of any Necron Legion. Indomitus contains 20 of these fantastic new models, a fresh take on the classic Necron, complete with pitted and scarred armour and plenty of battle damage from one too many reanimations. No, we're not pulling your collective legs. These new Necrons look absolutely fantastic. One thing I've noticed is that if you look a bit closer, some of them appear to have the plates missing off their armour, leaving an even more skeletal look underneath. Number 4. The Necron Plasma Sight. These seemingly innocuous machines drift in the wake of the Scorpek destroyers. Although fairly harmless by itself, especially when compared to the walking death dealers it accompanies, a plasma sight's ability to infuse the destroyers with tainted energy makes an already dangerous unit deadlier still. Also, it's weirdly cute, and on that one, I would have to agree. This thing looks a little bit like a snail to me, a snail with some spindly legs. And that little tentacle on the top there, is that its head, or is its head the sort of cross thing with the green bulbous nub on the end there? I can't work out. I think the tentacle looks to me like the head, but I think the cross with the bulbous nub actually is the head. And those little scarabs on that piece of scenery it's standing on really set it off. Incredible. Number 3. The Necron Overlord. Every army needs a commander to lead it into battle, and with great power comes even greater war gear. Not only does the Necron Overlord look as imperious as its esteemed rank demands, but it also bears a brand new weapon, a hyperphase glaive for those keeping track of these things, and a tachyon arrow. Cross this fellow and you're likely to find yourself chopped to ribbons and maybe deleted from time and space. Well, for an Overlord, I think this is possibly the best Necron HQ unit I've ever seen. The posing of this, I think, is incredible. It has a lot of details without looking overly busy, and I honestly would like to paint this one. Number 2. The PRIMARIS OUTRIDERS. The best innovation for the wheel since the spinny thing on the end of a chainsword, the Outriders are an effective threat at every range. Not only do they have paired bolt rifles up front, but the riders also carry heavy bolt pistols and Astartes chainswords. No point running, you'll just die tired. No matter your taste in Space Marines, these guys are for you. From the most loyal followers of the Codex Astartes to the hairy ones who treat Guilliman's scribblings more like guidelines. Indomitus is packed with a powerful, hard-hitting force of new Primaris units. So these bikes, I think everyone would agree, look 100 times better than the old standard Space Marine bikes. They look a little bit like the bike from Akira to me, but that is no bad thing. So first of all, I'm looking forward to someone to doing their Primaris Outrider Akira motorbike crossover. Does that make sense? If anyone does that, or even if it's already happened, please let us know in the comments below, and we want to have a look. And last of all, number 1, the NECRON Canoptek REANIMATOR. No, it's not an armoured land-walking jellyfish, it's far scarier. This long-limbed support platform, dubbed the Canoptek REANIMATOR, will keep your machine legions in the fight against even the most withering enemy assaults, even while its atomizer beam lances out to disintegrate those who would threaten its charges. Now, I think we know where the inspiration comes for this one, perhaps a mix of the tripods, if any of you have heard of that old book and TV show, and perhaps the War of the Worlds, with its tall, thin silhouette. But all things considered, I think this is possibly the best model in the new Indomitus box, and again probably one of the best new miniatures I've seen in a long time. And if any of the new miniatures are going to look anything like this, I think we're in for a real treat.
Wow, they certainly were some amazing new models. Now that's my top 10. I'm interested to see if you agree or disagree. Please let us know in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and always remember to drill your barrels.
Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, then please be sure to like and subscribe, or even leave a comment. I always try my best to reply to them all. You can even now support the channel by joining the Patreon page, details of which are in the description below. Thank you again for watching, and always remember to drill your barrels.